Well, I think Fincher was interested in working with me, and we met, and I was interested in working with him, and so it was pretty easy. I don't think of it like that because I mean it's like any other film for me in that sense. But there are other Swedish actors in smaller roles, and it was nice. It was fun to when we were shooting in Los Angeles to have some Swedish actors there, and it was cool to see them in that environment. Very nice. It's to be able to live at home in your own kitchen, your own bed, with your family, while shooting a film like this. It was nice. Yeah, but I shouldn't tell you too much because it's a spoiler. But I can tell you that my work with him was trying to figure out how he was thinking, what was his dreams, what did he like, what was he afraid of, and sort of find out how his brain worked. And that's usually what I try to do with characters. I want to know what makes them tick, so to say. No, I'm not that kind of actor. I'm not a method actor, so I don't become the character that I'm doing. I can switch off and on. You know, I come from theater, and in the theater you might do 3-4 characters in the same play. In the Shakespeare play, for instance, you just change your nose, and then you have to become somebody else. So if you work like that, you can't go in and become the characters.
Fincher.
It was lovely. Yeah, it suited me very well. I know it doesn't suit every actor, but it is great for me to have the opportunity to do a lot of takes, and it doesn't matter if I do make mistakes because there will always be another take, and you can try things and you can take risks within those takes. So I enjoyed it a lot, and he's so skilled. It's beautiful just to see how he does his images and how he works with the light and everything. I think one of the reasons is the heroine, the Lisbeth Salander character, which is a strong female character, but at the same time she's vulnerable and she's a victim at the same time. But she gets back at the people that has hurt her, and that makes for it's a fascinating character for people to read about. But it's also, of course, there's violence, there's sex, which is selling points, but it's also discussions about society in the books, which is interesting. Well, no, I can't say that. Through my career, there's maybe 3 or 4 or 5 characters that you remember with love like an old friend, you know. But they're very few. But there's no character that I don't like. I make sure I can find a way to like them when I do them, not as persons necessarily, but as characters. No, we can't compete with the Hollywood industry. But the big problem today is that the distribution forms and the cinemas, they are all adapted to the blockbuster films. I mean, you're supposed to have 100 million to put on advertising and press when you release a movie, and it should go out in 4,000 copies in the United States and sort of vacuum clean the market for all the money they can get, and in 3 weeks you should have the money back. And that is something that doesn't work for more complicated films, and films that might not make $100 million, but maybe $50 million, and that's a lot. But they're sort of disappearing, all those medium-sized films and foreign language films. Unfortunately, film doesn't travel as it once did. I remember when in the 60s, I mean, there were Italian films, there were French films in New York. You saw it everywhere, you know. But it's the market has sort of changed very much, and it makes you fear for film as an art form.